Hello and thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozuba. Today on the program, EFCC ramps up war against Graft, arrest Mompha, FBI listed alleged fraudster. Professor Sage cautions Oshomole, says APC may lose more states due to chairman's aggression. And later on the show, Brilliant Rashford free kicks dump Chelsea out of the Carabao Cup as Liverpool edge Arsenal in a 10-goal thriller. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Utitoju and Mayor Akipelu. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for joining us. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is giving impetus to the war against corruption and cybercrimes in Nigeria. The EFCC is beaming its eagle eyes on the upsurge in internet-related fraud in the country. The vigilance is paying off with the arrest of some big names in the act, like the popular Dubai-based fraudster Ismaila Mustafa, popularly known as Mompha. He was arrested on the 18th of October at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, on his way to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. His arrest came as a result of intelligence regarding his way of flaunting foreign currencies on social media platforms. But all the arrests of Mompha turned the tide of the rising internet fraud in the country. Will that arrest actually turn the tide? Babajide, we have a dangerous situation ground now. While we are counting the numbers of unemployed youths in Nigeria, at the same time, we are counting the numbers, the upsurge in the numbers of this so-called Yahoo Yahoo boys. They are everywhere, everywhere. Now, if they relocate out of Nigeria, they will go to Ghana. If you don't see them in Ghana, they're in South Africa. If you don't see them in South Africa, they're in Malaysia. If you don't see them in Malaysia, they're in Indonesia. Except for a few countries, they are all over. And Dubai is now like the headquarters now, because they live large, they live big, they have houses, have property without restriction. So this particular Mompha has a case study. Yeah. Now, for EFCC to be clamping down on fraudster, that's if you check the FBI list of 77 most wanted Nigerians and all over that they've been clamping down on. What makes this arrest spectacular?
Yeah, it's spectacular because on social media, Mompha is regarded as Nigeria's #1 fraudster. If you simply Google Nigeria's #1 fraudster, it is Mompha's name that will come out. And in those days, before his Instagram account was deactivated, you will see him at the apogee of his financial strength, playing with foreign currency, stepping on foreign currency, sleeping inside the bathtub with foreign currency.
And that has a lot of influence on our youth.
Yes, because they want social media. When you see them talking about Mompha and other people, in their hearts, they want to be like them. And in their hearts, hard work does not necessarily mean that you will be rich. Your educational qualifications, in their view, have nothing to do with what you become in life. You can actually be a never do well in school.
All the normal norms that we
and still, yes, things that our parents told us, look, don't do so that you don't give the family a bad name, are now seen as those things that people should actually not bother themselves about. So when you see a Mompha parading his flashy cars, parading his foreign currency, not just the dollar, and trying to show to the world that he has indeed conquered money. Okay. He is telling those young people.
Let me just halt you there. I'll quickly take this break. It's a live show, Journalist Hangouts. We're back, and Jide, I asked you earlier about the significance of the arrest of this Mompha guy.
Yes, because I said earlier that if you Googled his name, or you Googled Nigeria's #1 fraudster, it's his name that will come out. And then videos of him you know, playing with the dollar, pictures of him with his assorted cars and all that, Rolls Royce, all the flashy cars that he has. You see them. He wants the world to see that he's living in opulence and splendor. And when young people see people like Mompha, they get negatively influenced. And they now, in their view, honesty.
Loads of dollars.
Yes, this is the way. See, they will now feel that look, it doesn't pay to really work hard. Honesty does not pay. But we must, in our country, we must let our young people know that honesty and good name pays. So I don't care how this case ends up, but someone who had massively distorted the thinking of our young people.
That's the reward.
Yes, has finally been put in custody by the EFCC. So I'm really impressed with what the EFCC have done.
Mayor, even this permits to artists. You find our big artists, they sing praises of these guys. And you find our youths, it's always about King Shatilo, and they even mention their names. And you begin to feel that, man, is this Yahoo, they're not the in thing. To an average youth in Nigeria, that's like the in thing for them.
I think the problem has to do with our values. We've lost our values. Initially, before, good name is very important, especially if you are a Yoruba person, for example. If you are rich and you cannot explain the source of your wealth, nobody will have anything to do with you in the community. That you are rich is not important. There are certain things that you cannot do within the community. Even if there is a community meeting, no matter how rich you are, if you don't have that age or you are not within that age bracket, nobody will even listen to you. But we've lost all that. Before, when you go to jail, members of your family will feel embarrassed. It's as if they are going to that jail with you. They believe that you've ruined the family name. But now, everybody believes that what is important is, you see, we lost our values because over time, everybody has realized that nobody puts importance to those things anymore. What is important is for you to be successful. And in this case, for you to be rich. So, our youth have seen leaders who will get into office and will steal money that is meant for our commonwealth, and everybody will still give them chieftaincy titles and hail them for doing what they are doing. So everybody just wants to be successful, no matter how they get that money. So that's the problem that we have. Our youth now don't want to work. If you notice, you will see that it is very difficult for you to get people who even want to work. That's why the fact that everybody says that a lot of there's unemployment and all that. But our youth don't want to work. If you see most of them, you will see them in these bet houses, these bet houses and pool houses trying to make money. They are not ready to do
cheap money.
Yes, they are not ready to do hard work. They just want to have money. Ditto for our girls. For you to get a receptionist, it will take you a long time because they don't want to work. A lot of people want to do runs and do other things. So that is the problem. Because that values, everybody now takes it as a norm. What you used to do, and you hide to do it, people now flaunt it. That is why people, I was saying before we come on that people like Mompha, is because of that mentality of, they thought I won't make it. Now I'm successful. As far as this is concerned, when you have money and you have a Rolls Royce or you have car or you have other cars, then you are successful. That is the thinking. That is why he was flaunting all those things. Even in Dubai, he's not the biggest fraudster. I can tell you that. In terms of what they make, it's not. But he's loud. He wants people to know that, I have this money and all that. And it's the same mentality that our people do. It's just that they want to send a message to say, I've arrived. I know that I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe he's not educated. Maybe he didn't work hard. But okay, I'm rich. I want you people to know that I'm rich. So that is why they flaunt those things.
But now, undergraduate days, you hardly see people even using cars, and as at that time in Nigeria, it wasn't a common feature when we were in school.
Yeah.
But right now, if you go to the Osus of this world, you go to the Lassus of this world, you see the mega big boys of this world.
The lead cities.
Yeah, the lead cities, the flashy cars, and then, as at 100 level, 200 level, these guys are already commanding cars of 12, 11, 15 million, and you begin to look at it, and this will negatively influence or put their peer group into pressure.
Yes, and they are also good at recruiting people into their fold. The 419ers, when you move close to them, you see that there are usually younger people around them, people that they train, people that they mentor.
They have apprentices.
Yes, the way you mentor younger journalists now, the way we mentor younger journalists who want to be successful, the way people like Danladi Bako mentored people like me, that is the way that big-time fraudsters also mentor young people. So those young people will be looking up to them that, look, when I grow up, I want to be like Mompha.
And also work for them.
So, and the training, the tricks of the trade, they will impart the tricks of the trade on these guys. To them, they live for the moment. They can die the next day, they don't care.
I was even told that they go to Dubai to acquire sophisticated softwares,
yes,
which they use to hack.
With which they can hack people's email. They call it business email compromise schemes. That's what it's called. And
expensive.
EFCC has had to work with regulatory agencies like the FBI and others to address this problem, because there are so many Nigerians who are defrauding people all over the place. According to the EFCC, Mompha and his group have succeeded in laundering more than 30 billion naira.
Yeah. 30 billion.
30 billion. So you can imagine how many people that they have put. That they have caused agony. to so much mental agony and caused them to cry.
So I have Victor on the line from Ogun State. Thank you for joining us, Victor.
It's gone.
Okay, Victor is gone.
So this is the thing. We need to encourage the EFCC under the leadership of Magu. To continue to work with this agency. In fact, I'm pleased about something. There was a time that some foreign agencies that used to assist the EFCC pulled back because they felt that the EFCC was not heading in the right direction. Some of the support that we used to get and training that we used to get for EFCC operatives, they stopped giving because they were not sure. But today, we are collaborating more and more with those people. And a lot of those people listed by the FBI as wanted people, those Nigerians, the EFCC actually arrested them here in Nigeria. Yes. So you see some of these things, they are doing some of these things quietly, and we are not even getting to know. People are not getting to know. These are little things that they are doing, but those little things have significant impact.
They told me. I was told that the heat is on Yahoo boys now.
No.
All over Lagos now.
Look at the other day.
They are running helter-skelter.
Look at the other day in Abeokuta when they went for them. You know what those boys did? Some of them hid inside their sofas. They tore open their sofas and hid inside their sofas. But the EFCC operatives tore their sofas, their upholstered chairs apart, and then brought them out of. When you are not a corpse, why should you be? So, but the thing is, the heat is on them, and it has to continue. The president has to encourage the EFCC. You say you are fighting corruption. Encourage this man to go the old hog.
Yes.
For me, I'm excited that someone as big as the head of service of the Federation, based on the investigation carried out by the EFCC, the report of which was submitted to the president. You know, initially we thought that the president had given Oyoita a clean bill. But the moment Magu's team submitted the report and the woman was indicted, we're talking about ₦1 billion here, the president had to let her go.
Immediately.
And of course, they are going to bring her to justice.
I think I have another caller. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Lawson Kolawole from Lagos.
Okay, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, please, I appreciate the work the people are doing there. And God will continue to lead you,
Amen.
protect you.
Amen.
Yeah, you see, about the substance that we are discussing today, my whole point is, number one, there's a lack of proper teaching to our young generations. You see, in those days, our parents make us to know that anybody that steals has spoiled the family's name totally. But these days, the parents themselves even encourage the children to go and steal.
Yes.
You understand? That's number one. And two, unemployment also contributed to this issue of being a substance. If our government can give a proper thought to our children, and our parents also, all these things will stop.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Lawson.
much.
Thank you, Lawson. Mayor, I've had to take on a Yahoo boy. Why are you into this? Why can't you find a legitimate job? And it was like, look, the white men, they came, they made us slaves, and this is like, paying reparation to us. This is our own way of getting what they've gotten, very warped mentality. And if you know the number of youths that, they've keyed into this mentality,
That is arrant nonsense. Arrant nonsense, because you cannot justify criminality with reparation. It has nothing to do with it. And let me tell you something. It's not only foreigners that are victims of fraudsters. There are a lot of Nigerians.
Yes, sir.
A lot of Nigerians that are. In fact, if you notice, if there are still some young ones that are still coming out that will call you and try to tell you about your bank account, why something calling you from the customer care of a bank, and why they should give you things.
Those are
those
the
are
local ones,
beginners, yes.
elementary
And
ones.
so it is not that you're a fraudster does not mean it is a predation. You see, when you are doing anything, you want to justify it. That 400 years of slavery does not justify being a fraudster or any form of crime. So that is not. But you see, the attraction is that it pays. It's a white-collar crime. At best of time, even when they are arrested, the years that you give them is not much, but the proceeds from it is enormous. You understand? And they have, because now they have a way of moving they have a way of laundering the money. If you notice, most of the money that they make, they launder it through Lebanon. So they have people, collaborators who launder those money for them, who collect the money, and they know how they can beat the banking system and all that. So it is because it pays. When a crime pays, people will want to do it. That is the attraction, because it pays. And because it's a white-collar job, white-collar crime, the penalty is not severe.
There are some so-called artists that even to augment that they are into it.
Yes.
That they are not ordinarily into music
even
alone.
see some of them snapping pictures with Mompha now. Yes, now. Some of Nigerian R&B stars.
If you follow the ongoing trial of one of them, I don't want to mention his name, but by the first submission EFCC made in courts, how the credit numbers and everything
On his laptop.
on his laptop and everything, you will know that they are establishing. They've been able to establish
the fact that
particular
the
case,
that
and
means
so many of them like that.
That means they augment their earnings from entertainment with advance fee fraud. That's and it means that the EFCC needs to beam a searchlight more on these individuals, because we see them flaunt lavish lifestyles. It shows clearly that a lot of people in the entertainment industry can't defend their possessions. They can't defend their properties. It means that they are into either drugs or into money laundering, So the FCC has to work harder. But if you ask me, I can say that we are making progress.
Yes.
If you look at the convictions that Magu's team secured between January and October this year, it's 882. Whereas for the year 2018, they secured only 312 convictions. So what we have this year is already almost 3 times what the convictions that they secured in 2018. And we have not come to the end of
I think I have
2019.
another caller. Oh, we lost it.
We've not come to the end of 2019, and they have already secured 882 convictions between January and October. And between January and September this year, they have recovered 64 billion 721 million naira and 14 million 30,000 dollars, 4,693 pounds.
Some of them, they will even come, they will build hotels, they will build houses, buy flashy cars. One was arrested in Sokoto. They had to go trace him all the way from the United States of America to Sokoto, and he's a Yoruba boy. He was living in Sokoto.
No, that's where you will not expect.
They established his own enclave. When you see the houses, see everything, and I was like, man.
That's the product of making other people cry. They profit from making other people cry. If you've seen where 419ers have ruined lives, remember the case of that Egyptian, that
Egyptian general.
The one that was, I think it was actually even a Brazilian bank that was duped.
Okay, the Brazilian, the one
Okay.
that
Ounde, and Ajemba.
The guy, when he came here, he was already looking like someone lost, completely lost. You look at him, he was like a walking corpse because they had succeeded in destroying his life. That's a lot
even
of
the
money.
bank, they even lost the bank.
Yes, the bank too
Because
went under.
when another bank bought the bank over, and they insisted that they must bring those.
Okay, I
people.
have this call from Delta State. Oh, I think we're having challenges. Now, when you look at them and the way they operate, I've forgotten the name of the one that was apprehended in the United States of America that Forbes listed. That is a motivational speaker. He goes everywhere. He was, And when I read his story, his modus operandi, the way he established his company, the way he was operating, very sophisticated, and it took FBI close to 7 years of following him back to back before they could establish a case.
They say one thing you have to give.
Nigerians are so intelligent.
No, one thing you have to give a fraudster is that a fraudster is a very intelligent person.
Yeah.
That is why he's successful in the first place. You have to be intelligent to be a fraudster. Because what you are doing is to impose your own will on the other person's will. And to make him to do things that would not have done.
Yes.
So it's not out of place that they are intelligent. They are very intelligent. Some of them, yes, because it makes it easier for you to make more money if you invest in paraphernalia of office, so to speak. Because when you have big companies, you are well structured, the person that you want to defraud it will be easier to defraud the person. He will let down his guard because
you will look
that is why
credible to
even
him.
when you see those who are starting out, there are some people that they go to whose job is to provide the enabling environment for you to be able to do those things. The cars, the police security, the backup, the connection. So you need to be intelligent to be able to be successful as a fraudster.
That person we're talking about is Obi Invictus Obi Okeke.
Invictus,
Yes, $12 million. It was listed in 2018 Forbes, the 100 most influential youths around the world.
Yes, because he was rich, he was doing things, he was reaching out, he was starting out companies.
Yeah.
But if you make $12 million and you invest it well, and you are still a young person, yes, of course, you'll be famous. Everybody will talk about you. So it was later, in the course of arresting people, that they will get to know that, okay, this is the guy that is the head of that
This one is
network.
linked to
Yes.
this, linked to that.
My late uncle, Reverend S.S. Adela, used to talk about life in ascending order. As in starting your life gradually, and, before, but now you hear that
Things have changed.
Otiblo.
Things have
That means
changed.
people, they start from the top.
Nobody's ready to wait again. Nobody wants to wait.
The values seem to have been eroded.
Yeah.
That it will take you ascend gradually before you get up. But right now,
Double your
that's
hustle.
not the mentality.
Double your hustle.
Nobody, no young lady is even ready. No young lady is even ready to marry anybody
why?
that's
why?
still.
Because the society caused it. The society caused it. Before their very eyes, they see people who are involved in crime and criminality, you understand, being celebrated within the community.
Being venerated.
Being
by our
venerated. They were the
society.
people that you will give the highest chieftaincy titles to. That the people
I
that
have
will
this
sit-
caller. Thank you for joining us.
Ayo, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Babajide, good evening.
I greet you.
And Mayor, good evening too.
It's Aminu calling from Akwa Ibom.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Babajide, God bless you for whatever you are doing for Nigerians.
Thank you.
Protect you and guide you and your family.
Amen.
Thank you.
Babajide, this betting center that they are now everywhere in Nigeria, they are cause of our youth problem. Early in the morning, 8 o'clock, go any betting center, you will see millions of youth patching themselves there, looking for easy money.
It's a big problem.
It's a big problem, but I'm indifferent to this. I don't want to mention their names, but that one.
The betting company.
Yes, you have to just put money. I expect that you get lucky and you make money and everything, but there's nothing dubious about that one, Jide.
No.
They are just trying their luck.
There's
So
nothing
we must be able
about
to establish
But it also,
there's
has
nothing.
to, it also has to be regulated.
Yes,
It
quick
has to
money
be
syndrome.
regulated. I've seen some African countries actually clamp down on betting because unrestrained betting has a negative effect even on our young people. People will go and steal their parents' money to go and bet. We've seen that happen. And this was not, we didn't have this situation before.
No, never.
You know?
Never.
We had pools betting
We
the
had
days
pools,
of Baba.
Baba Jebu.
Baba Jebu. No, before he
pool,
even became
pool,
Baba
pool,
Jebu.
that
Before
pool,
face to face.
Division 4,
the
Division 3
Obions,
of the English.
the Willie
yeah.
Obions of this world.
Yes.
And even this Baba Jebu now.
Yeah, face to
this
face. They are doing face to face there.
Keshintin, they were into pools, but the traditional pool. And in Kano, we had Tahir Fadlala. These were the traditional pools betting.
It has been deregulated
Young
now.
people were hardly involved in that.
No,
Yes.
for old people.
Old school, yeah.
But today now, what we have is more tush than that old.
You go
form
on
of
internet,
betting.
you
And
see them.
everybody
They always
is betting now. And on your phone, you can easily bet.
project
So
the live match.
You know my problem with that? My problem with that is that it is not illegal. You understand? But it's not good for the country. Why it's not good for the country is that
Quick money
sometimes I
syndrome.
remember I'll be going to the office and I will see a lot of young people congregate in a place and I will ask question and they will say, oh, the pool. Monday morning, when young people are supposed to be at work, they will sit somewhere and be
those boys will be
mistaken.
more useful in the farms.
It's fire on the mountain. All right. Anyone stranded in a hot room will do all within his or her powers to get out for safety and a more conducive environment. Now, the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, Professor Itse Sage, has blamed this scenario for the loss of some states by the All Progressive Congress, APC. Professor Sage is of the view that the aggressive behavior and approach of APC National Chairman, that's Adams Oshiomhole, towards members is responsible for those losses. According to him, the party will lose most of the states it currently controls if the former Edo State governor continues to handle issues in a combative manner. Gentlemen, Babajide, Professor Sage, a word of advice. We had John Odige Oyegu, and to some people, Odige Oyegu was laid back, that he presided over a rudderless party, and everybody could do, the party was not under the leadership of APC, so to say.
No discipline.
No discipline.
No
and
direction.
No direction, and the National Assembly was occupied by the Bukola Sarakis of this world, and the center could not hold. So a lot of people felt, okay, we needed the change. They needed that change in their own party because we are not members of their party. So they needed that change, and they had to bring Adams Ali Oshiomhole. Jide, so far.
Well, I have to say that if Pao Yegun had led the APC to the general election, the APC would have lost that election.
Correct.
Really?
Yes,
Correct.
APC would have lost the election. If they had gone into that contest with Oyegun in charge, they would have lost the election. Oyegun is to blame for what happened in Kogi, where Faleke and the governor had to now be on collision course. they are back together now because of the efforts of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
No proper reconciliation.
No reconciliation. And when even the president mandated Asiwaju to lead a reconciliation team, the Oyegun people set up a parallel just because they didn't want the reconciliation to succeed. So if we had gone to war, gone into an election with that kind of leadership of the APC, how would the party have won? When the party was torn apart. You remember one episode of our program where we said in 12 different states, APC was at war with itself.
Yes, I remember.
Now, Oshomole as a person, I do not approve of his style, but I approve of his disciplinary approach. It is the way he talks that I'm thoroughly against, because even that can hurt your party. Sometimes he talks recklessly. And as an old man, you must be able to watch your tongue. You are no longer an activist. You are no longer a leader of the NLC. You know? Yes, all your life that you've been involved in the struggle. Arewatex in Kaduna, as PRO, you know. But once you are now the leader of a party, you must choose your words carefully. Remember, even when he got involved in this part with the Minister of Labour,
Yeah.
that one had to give it back to him. That what are you talking about? You know, because Jomole was talking like a sergeant major to party members. So you can't have that. There are times when you have to adopt the carrot approach. There are times when you have to adopt the stick. A good leader must be able to balance both. If at all points people can predict how you will react to an issue, that, oh, it's the combative approach that you adopt, it will not work. Did this combative approach work in Zamfara, for example?
No.
He and Yari, the governor, then, will probably have exchanged blows. They almost came to that. Because Yari was saying that if his father born him well, he should come to
Zamfara State.
Yes.
I remember that time.
You know? So it is not in all cases that force delivers dividends or that kind of approach. So that is the point that this man is making, that he said, I've advised Oshomole rather unsuccessfully to stop being combative, to stop punching and all this aggressive behavior. The leadership position, in a leadership position, you need to stoop to conquer. You need to be restrained. Oshomole has done well, in my view, bringing the party together, giving it organization, giving it discipline. But in spite of that, the party lost some states that ordinarily you would have expected them to win. So they need to go back and find out why. I said something recently. Our friends in the APC, they don't like being criticized. But the truth is, we will criticize them, even if the heavens will fall. Since the elections, that's their problem. Since the elections were held, there has not been any reconciliation meeting. You lost 4 key states. There has not been any reconciliation meeting, you know, to bring back the people. You know, Faleke said something that Tinubu taught him, that when you win an election, remember the people who made you to win. When you lose, remember also the people who made you to lose. Why haven't Oshomole been able to organize a kind of reconciliation that would bring back aggrieved persons and ensure that they will go to the next contest as one family? In Sokoto, for example, many people were against the choice of Wamako for the governorship of the state, and they are convinced that if he had chosen a different person, they will have won. But he got away with it, and some of those bitter people have probably joined the PDP, or they are waiting to join. So the reconciliation has to start.
One thing that comes to mind easily is the feud Oshomole had with the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Unemployment, that's Chris Ngige, and where he went, said all manners of things, to the extent that he was even insulting Mr. President. That if
you can do it to Mr. President, you cannot.
You know,
I'm not a fan of Professor Sage, but I agree with him on on this line that yes, part of the problem has to do with Oyegun. Oyegun was a very weak leader, and he allowed problems to fester within the party. And like Jide said, if APC had gone to election with Oyegun, probably they would have lost. But the problem that I have with Oshomole is that when you are chairman of a party, you are supposed to be playing politics. Politics is about horse trading and consensus. You cannot give orders to people who some of them were governors when you were a governor. Some were even governors before you.
Yes.
You understand? Some even contributed in your being a governor. But because he's chairman now, he has these tendencies to give orders. You can't do that in politics. For example, if I'm a politician and I'm in charge of my constituency or my state, you cannot come because I'm chairman of the party and be telling me that you give me orders. That's the problem you have.
Instructions.
Yes, I give instructions. What you need to do is to sit down with your members, know when you are supposed to reconcile, know when you are supposed to do horse trading, know when you are going to agree on consensus. You understand? That's what you need to do. Because if you keep using this same style, this combative style, the party will continue to lose states. Because if you look at it, the gap between PDP and APC is almost non-existent. Yes, in terms of the states of loss, and it's because he doesn't care. He believes that is the way we are going to do it. I'm the chairman of the party. That's what we want to do, and that is why if you see that the BOT, because of his style of leadership, the BOT is not very powerful in APC.
Do they have?
That's what I'm saying. Because
the
BOT is supposed to be like the conscience where the elders will be able to give advice.
What we even saw, where one of his vice chairmen was openly even calling for his removal.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. You are in the same cabinet. In inverted commas. And one of your own lieutenants is publicly saying that, look, Oshomole, the disagreement arose over Zamfara, and he's blaming Oshomole for what happened in Zamfara. Because I also believe that the Zamfara matter should have been better handled, But that's not what we have. Today, PDP is benefiting from that. And what do you have? People who are in the APC, they are the ones even providing support for the current governor in that place. Even contributing political appointees.
And the same thing might happen in Edo?
No, that's what I wanted to ask you, that this crisis has even snowballed to Edo State. And whether you like it or not, Edo State is not a natural enclave for APC. It has never been.
It is not.
Oshomole struggled.
In fact, it's
the first time, the second time.
They always lose presidential elections. APC always loses presidential election in Edo State.
Yes, if you look at the composition of the number of senators from APC and PDP in Edo State and House of Rep members, for governorship election, they actually got everything.
And one is local.
That one is local.
House of Assembly, they got everything.
But you can't say Edo is a an APC state.
No, the South is generally.
They are going to another election now, and Oshomole is at loggerheads with the governor.
It's the same thing that we are talking about leadership, about the style of leadership. I know that most godfathers wants to be in charge in their state. It's natural for you to do that. Nobody gives power willingly. So, and he believes that if I concede to the governor, then I might end up not being relevant in that state.
In my own state.
Because part of the problem Oyegun had was that Oyegun was not relevant in the state. And he could not win the election on that. So, but there are other ways of doing it. Because if you have allowed the governor has been there almost 4 years, and you want to say, okay, I must have my way. It is not everybody that will listen. And the way they are now
has been polarized.
Yes, they have
not forgetting that PDP is strong in that state.
Yes, I can. If care is not taken, I even believe that they are likely to lose the state.
You look at him saying that the governor wants to go to the PDP. When the crisis in Edo State, from the beginning, I had been against the idea of minority picking speaker.
Yes,
and I don't think that the governor of that state covered himself in glory with the way the whole thing happened. It just shows that he too believes in impunity.
Yes.
But many people are saying, oh, Oshiomhole that they like what has happened because, it has stopped Oshiomhole from coming to dictate what will happen in that state. Yeah, maybe they are looking at the bigger picture. But this whole Edo crisis kind of demystified Oshiomhole. And when you hear comments, even those who ought not to look Oshiomhole in the face and insult him, they are the ones insulting him now in Edo State because they've not been able to manage that crisis. We saw them together and we felt, okay, peace had come, and a lot of us were happy that at least peace had come. But from what transpired afterwards, you see clearly that peace was not achieved in the end because they are still attacking each other, they are still abusing each other. This one will say, he's attacking me because I didn't do this. Is this, it doesn't all go well at all. It doesn't all go well.
All right. So, moving on now. England's most successful clubs were in action in the EFL or Carabao Cup on Wednesday, and soccer fans were treated to spectacular displays. First, Manchester United cruised into the Carabao Cup quarterfinals with a 2-1 victory over Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. The penalty and a brilliant free kick from Marcus Rashford sealed the win for the Red Devils. In another encounter, Arsenal twice squandered the lead as they were dumped out of the competition by red-hot Liverpool after a 5-5 draw and ensuing penalty shootout. Gentlemen, let me start from you. Manchester United.
Yes, I'm happy for Manchester United. It seems they are coming back. They had.
Is it that they are coming back, or
yes, they are coming back?
Any of the strong teams?
No.
Manchester United will come to the party.
Yes, that is part of it.
Tomorrow they might play.
That is part of it because if you notice that's why the first time they met Chelsea this season
it was
they beat
4-0.
Chelsea 4-0. But you see, they had this lump for some time, especially winning away from home.
Yeah.
And for them to beat Chelsea because Chelsea has won 7 straight victories on the bounce. For them to be able to defeat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge is a brilliant thing. It's not as if their problem has been solved, but it's a major step forward in terms of how the team is evolving.
Hope they are not in the relegation
But
zone again.
No. They are now in seventh now. They are in 7th position now. They were closer to relegation before, but they were 7th because you see, when you win matches now, they won their last match away too, and they are doing well. But in case of Arsenal, the problem of Arsenal has to do with the coach. Emery is a very bad coach. I believe so. One, he does not understand his tactics. He does not understand his players. These players does not even understand he doesn't know the best position for his players. And Arsenal have good players, but you cannot. They don't even have a pattern. Sometimes he will play 4-4-2. Sometimes he will play 4-3-3. Sometimes he will play 3 at the back. It's confusing his players. And he does not even know where to use them. Because in Arsenal today, the best ball winner they have in that midfield is Torreira. He hardly plays. The only creative player that they have in that team is Ozil. He doesn't use him. So, Arsenal is a team on the decline. And it shows for a team to lose after that 2-goal lead back-to-back shows that the mentality of the team and the mentality of their coach. Because it's like that. If you remember that when he was in PSG, he defeated Barcelona with all the stars, major stars that they bought, that they used Arab money to buy for him. He defeated Barcelona 4-0, went to Nou Camp and lost 6-1.
Jude, let me take you back to the Red Devil because I know you're a Red Devil yourself. And when you look at the Manchester United, a lot of people will say that team is just below average. As in, when you juxtapose what's the lineup of Manchester United and Liverpool, somebody was even saying it jokingly that maybe it's only, what's the name, Paul Pogba, that can pick a shirt in Liverpool's lineup that every other, that every other person in Manchester United is not even Rashford right now. That team, there's a fundamental defect.
That's why he's playing the same play with Mane. He won't make that team.
No, the thing is, football matches are not simply won by stars. You win matches by your approach to the game, your strategy, the way your team lines up for the game. For example, against Liverpool, Manchester United adopted the 3-4-3 pattern. And it helped because
And it worked, yes.
it worked because Liverpool was stifled right from the midfield. They were stifled. Firmino, who usually has so much space, he was denied the space. Mane was denied the space that he wanted. And they were lucky to escape with a draw. So the truth is, a coach would would determine in the course of a season the best pattern to adopt. I think now, even yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also used 3 at the back, 3 center halves, 2 wing backs, and then 2 wing backs who will also come into the midfield when the team does not have possession of the ball. So it helps. It helps a lot. Depending, I think that, in my view, although he played 4-3-3 against Norwich, of course, Norwich is a weak opponent, so he naturally played 4-3-3. And he was able to win, 4-3-3 is an attack-conscious pattern. So the Man U attack throughout. In my view, this is a team that is beginning to find its rhythm. And momentum is very important in football. When you win a game, you have to do your best to win the second one because it boosts your confidence. Manchester United has won 3 straight away games now.
No.
Defeated Partizan Belgrade, then Norwich, and then Chelsea. Nobody gave them a chance because Chelsea was also on the ascendancy.
Yeah.
But if you look at results for the past 2 years now, Manchester United has been getting the best of Chelsea. So, and even in the League Cup last, was it League Cup last season or even the FA Cup? Manchester United defeated Chelsea at home 2-0.
The League Cup.
From your own diagnosis, when you want to diagnose the problem of Arsenal, what exactly is responsible for their inconsistency?
I think that when Emery decided to put the captainship of Arsenal to a vote and Xhaka emerged, it now became a burden for him that Xhaka must play every game as the captain of the team. Torreira delivers much better than Xhaka when you put him in games. And you see that the other day, even the fans were booing Xhaka as he was walking, as he was replaced. Now, if you must play Xhaka, then you will not find space for Torreira. They say that Ozil does not work hard enough. But Ozil, the creativity that Ozil has, nobody in the present Arsenal team has the creativity. No. You are not going to get that kind of creativity from Saka, for example. You won't get that from Ceballos. Because Ozil is in a class of his own. Yes, he will appear lazy. His approach is languid, So, but a coach must find the right balance. If I have a player like Ozil, then I'll be prepared to field 2 defensive midfielders for him. So that he does not have to be involved in defensive duties, but it will give you that creative spark that has been lacking. Arsenal is not creating enough. How can a team play against Crystal Palace? You are leading by 2 goals. You are playing at home. You are leading 2-0, and Crystal Palace still came from behind to equalize. The same thing has happened against Liverpool. Arsenal should be able to hold on to his lead. And if Emery does not find a way to get Arsenal winning, then his days are numbered.
You know why he cannot hold on to that? One, he does not teach his team how to defend. 2, Arsenal is good going forward with the ball. Without the ball, they don't know what they are doing. So it's easy to penetrate their lines. 3, he wants to copy Klopp.
There's this talk about Mourinho.
You see, I am
for Arsenal.
I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't want Mourinho. Mourinho is not good for Arsenal. Mourinho is hiding the job. Because you see, Mourinho is a coach who doesn't want to go. Leon said he should come. He refused to join.
He doesn't want to go to small clubs.
He doesn't like small clubs. He likes to go to a big club where he'll be able to have enough money. Then he will say he's the special one. But Mourinho will be better than Emery, and I will tell you why. Mourinho will be able to give them that organization that is lacking. The problem with Arsenal is that
defensive
know that in the Premiership, Arsenal has faced more shots at goal than any other team in the Premiership. And that's why they concede goals, because you will always get a chance to shoot at them. because there's no organization to defend. They just can't defend. Yesterday, they considered a goal in the 94th minute
94.
for a team that should not beat them.
And David Luiz is an error waiting to happen at any point. It's either he kicks somebody's leg in the box or somehow he will commit an error that will ensure that his team doesn't win again.
We have to leave it there. Gentlemen, Mayor, I enjoyed it today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the best for himself, Babajide Kolade.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your contribution as always. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. And also watch Journalist Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.